Hello, today I'd like to discuss positive communication in relationships and some of my techniques that I use personally. And so to begin with, I would like to speak about my romantic relationship. And so one technique I use in my romantic relationship to start with would be to create a communication climate that is based off of respect and trust. And to work a little bit more on that idea, I respect the needs of my significant other while putting in and maintaining the high level of trust that's needed in a relationship. Because to me, I feel as if one partner isn't putting out the proper amount of respect, it's gonna actually falter the relationship, resulting in one person putting in too much work and the other one not. And if you don't have trust in a relationship, the relationship's gonna downfall because neither one can trust each other to do anything. And if you can't feel comfortable with your other partner being on their own or being around other people or even just having them do something for you and there's no trust there, the relationship isn't going to move at a good pace, to say the least. And so another technique that I really like to use, and it's one of my best traits, is to promote the supportiveness of deep commitment. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the trust and respect, meaning that when you're committed to someone, you do respect them all the time. You respect them enough to when you're around someone else. You don't do anything that you wouldn't do if they were there with you. Um, Again, with the deep commitment, you trust them as well to go and be around other people, and you trust them to do things for you. The commitment goes hand in hand with those other two traits we just discussed. Um, Another thing would definitely be to demonstrate my actual desire to be in a relationship. I mean, a relationship to me is like an investment, and so the more time you put in, the more trust, the better your relation's gonna be as a whole. So there's almost like a give and take you have to put in order to get anything to put out. And so when when we discuss also putting information into a relationship to make sure that the output is great, one of the strongest factors in that for me would definitely be making sure that there is effective communication in the relationship. And when I say effective communication, I mean obviously listening to my partner's needs and adhering to them while my partner does the same for me. And when you do that, there's a mutual commitment that is made because, like we said a little bit earlier, when you put too much of effort into one relationship and the other person isn't putting the same amount of effort into that relationship, it's not equal. And so when you're communicating properly and when your needs are being adhered by the other partners and theirs are being adhered by you, there's a contributing equality in that. And so I would like to go ahead and move on now that I've discussed my romantic relationship into my family relationship. And so, to begin with one of the techniques I like to use in my family relationship, I like to again create a positive communication climate. And so, when my family is in need or there's something that my family would like to get done, we mainly stick to the original way that we would all do it. And so, for instance, even though I live 2 hours away from my family, being here in Orlando, I still make sure to call my mom every week to make sure that she's doing okay, obviously, and that everything's going good at home. And this shows her that I really do care about her well being and that I'm thankful for her helping me out the whole time in college and her being supportive of me as well. And so, like we said a little bit more with the romantic, that's another thing that could transfer over. Make sure that it is equal contribution in the relationship. By me calling her, her helping me in college, and her staying on task with what she needs to get done, and me staying on task with what I need to get done as a college student. And so, also going back into, like we were talking about a little bit more, with helping them when my family members are in need, the first thing would definitely be acknowledging their needs, because if you don't know what they need, how are you going to help them? And so once I do find out what my family members need, I do my best to actually help them and endorse with their needs. And so another technique I'd like to go ahead and discuss that I like to use in my family relationships is to provide the effective feedback by staying in close contact, like we discussed a little bit earlier, calling your parents to check in to make sure they're okay. And I mainly do that so that I can obviously stay in contact, obviously keep the relationship going, making sure that I'm contributing my proper amount. And I also, the main thing that works for me and my family relationship, since I do live far away, is I can't just talk to my family on the phone. I have to visit them eventually. And that's not something that it's like, oh, I have to visit my parents. It's something that for me, that's actually a need I have in my relationship with my family. And so sometimes they'll come up to Orlando or I'll go back down to Sarasota. Either way, there's something going on there as to seeing each other. And so mainly I do have a busy work and school schedule, so it's a 2-hour drive one way, so 2 ways it's 4 hours that you have to take out of your day. So I really do, I have to make time and set it aside so that I can meet with them, but I always do my best, and when I do meet with them I always feel better about it. And so the main thing that for me about going down to Sarasota, why it serves a good purpose, a good strong purpose for me, is it allows me to spend some valuable time with my family, obviously, and I get to catch up with what's going on with their lives, and it allows me to continue to be a predominant advocate within their lives, even though I do live farther away. And so those are some of the techniques I really like to focus on when I'm either in a family, with my family relationship, or even within my romantic relationship. Thank you for watching.